Hey everyone! Welcome to The Young and the Restless. I'm Jane, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Young and the Restless, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. On the Tuesday, July 1st, 2025 episode of The Young and the Restless, Cane came to Genoa City to meet with Holden, while Billy made Sally an irresistible offer in France. Nick also quizzed Damien about Dumas' past. Billy, Jason Thompson, and Sally concluded a deal in their train cabin on The Young and the Restless. Image, CBS. Billy had prepared a special supper for Sally in their train compartment, which included French fries with spicy sauce. Sally informed Billy that she understood what he was doing. She warned him that the whole distraction thing was not going to work. Sally expressed anxiety about Billy going after Chancellor Industries with Cane. She's not sure where this leaves them or her in terms of Abbott Communications. Sally appreciated Billy's efforts to woo her, but she thought he was passing her up. Sally questioned where she and Abbott Communications stood in light of Billy's intention to reclaim Chancellor Industries. She went on to say that she could take Abbott Communications where it needed to go if he chose to focus on Chancellor. Billy requested Sally to check behind her dessert tray. Sally claimed she didn't want creme brulee. She raised the lid of her dessert plate and found a note with her name on it. She picked at it with a fork. "Now, who's being coy?" Billy asked. Billy stated that because there was no internet, he wrote on a piece of paper what he wanted Sally to know. There was an understanding that if he took over Chancellor, she would become CEO of Abbott Communications. Sally noted that it was unsigned. "You heard me," a grateful Sally replied softly. Billy claimed there was never any doubt. Sally thanked Billy for providing her with support to help her feel secure. Billy said he trusted Sally with Abbott Communications. He said that his strategy to reclaim Chancellor Industries from Victor was complicated. Sally gently pointed out that Cane had already backed out. Billy recalled a period when he believed Jill pitted Cane and Billy against each other. Billy explained that Cane calling everyone together showed that he wanted an audience when he took down the major man. Billy explained that he had desired Chancellor for a long time. It was a dream. He wanted Sally to have her own dream, too. Sally stated that Billy sought vengeance. Billy stated that he wanted what was his, and that even if Victor died in the process, it was fine. Billy predicted that when Abbott Communications reveals Victor's demise, Sally will have a fantastic story to tell. Sally warned that retribution never ends good. Billy stated that everything he saw were nice things. Then he signed the handwritten agreement he delivered to Sally, which stated that she would oversee Abbott Communications. Sally also signed it. Then, with the pen, Sally scribbled "I love you" on Billy's palm. "Thank you for being my partner in all of this," Billy stated. Then he and Sally kissed. Meanwhile, Sharon and Nick bemoaned at Cane's estate that they wished to be back home with their loved ones. Sharon compared Cane's power over her life to being locked in the clinic by Martin. Then Lily and Damien joined them. Nick expressed curiosity in learning more about Damien, given his experience with Cane. Damien stated he couldn't say much about Cane/Dumas because he met him when they all met for Cane's big reveal. He did, however, admit he contacted Dumas years ago after discovering he was a rising business titan. Damien claimed he exploited his connections in Los Angeles to attract Dumas/Cane's notice. Sharon was amazed that it worked. Nick explained that Damien's Cane is considerably different from the Cane they all know. Damien stated that he and Cane corresponded by email and occasionally via phone. Sharon thought it was unusual. Damien stated that he was making good money. He did not observe any red flags. Nick pointed out that Damien had no knowledge about Cane. Lily stated that only those with something to conceal would develop a new persona. Sharon pointed out that Cane arrived in Genoa City with a con, and while he reformed, perhaps his claim that he had changed was the real deception. Lily wondered when Cane changed. Sharon inquired whether Cane had spoken to her personally about his intentions. No, Lily replied. He just said things that made no sense, like he wanted to keep this new path separate. Sharon wanted to know what that meant. Lily said she didn't know. Sharon inquired as to if Maddie and Charlie knew anything about Cane. Lily stated that even if she could contact them, she would not inform them because she has to process everything that has happened. Sharon understood what it was like to want to protect your children. Nick couldn't understand why Cane was hiding behind the mystery. Sharon stated that she felt anxious about not being able to contact her family. Nick indicated they would leave as soon as the train tracks were cleared. Lily stated that she was not leaving until she received answers. Sharon mentioned that Lily deserved the truth. Nick and Damien agreed. Damien emphasized that they should concentrate on Cane's plans for the future. Lily believed Cane chose the name Aristotle Dumas for a purpose. There had to be a relationship to the Count of Monte Cristo, a narrative about a man who returned seeking vengeance. Nick stated that they needed to be prepared for what Cane might do next. Lily warned Damien, Nick, and Sharon that Cane had informed Devon that someone at his gala might try to kill him. Okay, we've jumped the shark, Nick said. Lily did not believe that because Cane had upset others, no one would attempt to kill him. Nick revealed that Victor flatly rejected Cane's offer to purchase Chancellor Industries. Sharon mentioned that things could be worse. Lily agreed that being in France at Cane's home pales in comparison to Sharon's kidnapping of Phyllis. Lily pondered what the worst Cane could do. She joked that he wouldn't lock everyone in France while stealing their enterprises in Genoa City. Meanwhile, Cane entered Crimson Lights in Genoa City. He took a seat in the rear section. Then, Holden appeared and addressed Cane as Mr. Dumas. Cane complimented Holden for the work he did for him. Holden told Cane that no one suspected anything about their current connection. Holden questioned why Cane was in town when he should be hosting a gala in France. He also wanted to know why they were meeting in a coffee shop. Holden assumed Dumas knew Genoa City. Cane stated that very nothing had changed, but everything had changed. Cane inquired as to whether Holden had informed anyone that he was returning to work for him. Holden declined and stated that he had followed orders. He has persuaded others to believe that he is still looking for work. Holden thanked Dumas. You can call me Cane Ashby, Cane informed Holden. He also stated that Aristotle Dumas would soon cease to exist. Cane claimed he established Dumas to build his fortune in anonymity. Holden questioned what had changed. Cane claimed that was all part of his plan, and Genoa City is very important to him. He told Holden that he needed to continue being his eyes and ears. Cane commended Holden on acquiring the real estate he requested. Cane stressed to Holden that there would be no more questions regarding his intentions. Cane asked Holden to make contact with Claire, Mariah, Adam, and Chelsea. He told Holden to be approachable, kind, and non-threatening. Holden instructed his supervisor to consider it completed. Cane corrected Holden after he posed a question. Holden said he would not question Cane again. Cane asked Holden about Damien and his friendship with Lily. Holden claimed Damien was drawn to Lily. He has seen him develop feelings for other women, and he has witnessed those relationships end. However, he had never witnessed anything like this with Lily. Cane inquired whether Lily had feelings for Damien. Holden could not disclose, but he did claim Damien was willing to leave Amy and Nate until he met Lily. Holden wondered why Cane cared about Lily and Damien. Cane mentioned that he and Lily have a history together. He believed Damien was a player, and he did not want Lily to be wounded. Holden and Cane concluded their meeting. Cane had a flashback to when he danced with Lily at Crimson Lights. Then Chelsea entered the coffee shop. "Cane? When did you get back to town?" Chelsea inquired. Cane and Holden's secret alliance back in Genoa City was a carefully orchestrated scheme that sent shockwaves through the lives of everyone involved, unraveling relationships, exposing hidden motives, and reshaping the power dynamics in ways no one could have anticipated. It all began with quiet conversations in dimly lit corners of obscure bars, where the two men, each with their own reasons for wanting to manipulate the situation, found common ground in their mutual distrust of the established order. Cane, always the strategist, saw an opportunity to regain control over his fractured family legacy, while Holden, ever the wild card, was drawn to the chaos that such a conspiracy could unleash. Their partnership was not one of friendship but of convenience, a temporary alignment of interests that allowed them to exploit the vulnerabilities of those around them. The first phase of their plan involved subtle manipulations, whispers in the right ears, carefully timed revelations, and the strategic sowing of doubt among their targets. They knew that in a place like Genoa City, where secrets were currency and trust was a rare commodity, even the smallest disruption could have far-reaching consequences. Cane, with his intimate knowledge of the powerful families and their weaknesses, provided the blueprint, while Holden, with his unpredictable nature and willingness to cross lines others wouldn't, became the perfect enforcer. Together, they worked in the shadows, ensuring that their fingerprints were never too obvious, always leaving just enough ambiguity to keep their enemies guessing. As their scheme gained momentum, the effects began to ripple outward. Relationships that had seemed unshakable started to fracture under the weight of suspicion. Long-buried secrets resurfaced at the most inopportune moments, and alliances shifted as people scrambled to protect their own interests. Cane and Holden took advantage of the chaos, positioning themselves as indispensable players in the new order they were creating. They played their roles masterfully, Cane, the concerned friend offering guidance, and Holden, the rogue element whose actions could never quite be predicted. Behind the scenes, however, they were in complete control, pulling strings with calculated precision. The tension in Genoa City reached a fever pitch as their machinations became harder to ignore, yet no one could quite piece together the full extent of their involvement. That was by design. They had engineered the situation so that even if one part of their plan was exposed, the full truth remained just out of reach.